All right, all right. Hey, everybody, what's going on? My name is Matt.
Hey there, I'm Lisa.
Nice to have you guys here. This is our kickoff podcast of, we really don't even have a name right now, do we yet? The Matt and Lisa Ritter Show?
There you go. I mean, that could be entertaining, if nothing else. It could be
Mimosas with Matt and Lisa.
well, then
Rita's.
we're missing.
Rita's with the Ritters. That's a good
go.
one too,
that,
right?
That flows a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not a big margarita fan though. So, but anyways, no, we just we're gonna start something off, see how it flies for a while, just having fun together as a couple, talking about our story, talking about different things that make us better as a couple, as parents, husbands and wives, everything. So,
in ministry.
Yeah, ministry. It's a lot. Yeah, I mean, we're both in full-time ministry, doing this each and every day. So, yeah, there's a lot that happens with us for sure. So we're just excited to share with you how we navigate through all that. All the good, the bad, and the ugly for sure. So not too ugly. We don't want to get too.
Some days. But, we really want to just be real and authentic with you and just really share even the hard topics that in ministry and in life people kind of want to steer away from. And we want to be real with you and share those things and not hide from the truth of what's in front of us. So
right.
That's where we're at.
Well, so let's get to know us. Okay, yeah, again, my name is Matt, since you didn't catch that earlier, and if you don't know me.
I mean, they need to make sure they know who they're talking to.
The real name is Matthew, but only she calls me that. Probably my mom too, which is fine. But we've been married for, 21 years.
A long
right?
time.
We have three.
I mean, it's been like nothing, darling. It's been like nothing.
This time has flown. It's just gone by so fast. It's just bliss, pure bliss, 24/7, right?
Always.
Is that what we're saying?
It's like roses and rainbows.
Right.
There you
go. Anyways.
Roses and rainbows with the Ritters.
Roses and rainbows with the Ritters.
No,
There's a new title.
No,
but we got three beautiful girls. An 18-year-old recently graduated high school. We have a junior now who's 16 and an 8th grader who is 13, almost 14 here in November. So, yeah, it's
Lord help us.
Time is sure flying for sure.
All in one house.
Yeah, I agree. So, anyways, what is our story? How did we meet? How did we get to where we're at today?
I think because you are older than I am, you can start by telling us, where were you born? And, give us a little history about who you are. And then I'll share a little bit about me.
Okay. Well, that's not that interesting, but we'll see how it goes. I was born in a little town in California called Taft. A lot of people don't know where that's at. It was formerly called Moron. Not with a B, but an M, moron.
That sums
changed to Taft many years later when that probably became a slang word or something you call really dumb people. I don't know. But grew up there till graduated high school there and went to Taft College a little bit and then branched out to San Jose. But before I left for San Jose, I went to a church in Bakersfield to a college group and met this lady over here. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah.
And you have a couple of sisters.
I do.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, if we look at the entirety of my family with step-parents and all the blended families going on there, I have 2 step-sisters, a half-sister, and a biological sister. So,
well, and if you think
four
that
sisters.
Is crazy, wait till you hear mine.
Well, what's yours?
Well, I was actually born in a town called Downey, down in Los Angeles. I was born in the LA area, California. So for those of you, living in Southern Cal, what's up? But yeah, so I was born in Downey. I grew up in Whittier, California, and went to school there. And then just before I turned 16, we moved to Bakersfield. And so little story, back history of that. My mom was just 18 years old, 17 actually, when I was born, 18. My biological father was shot and killed. So there's that. That's an interesting story by the police. And so
much more exciting than my story.
There's that. I'm not from Moron. I mean Taft. And so at 14, my mom and dad, my stepdad, who is my dad, my mom started taking me to church and we got to meet him and I kind of hooked the two of them up and they got married and then we became the epitome of the Brady Bunch and we have his, hers, and ours, a super blended family. And then they ended up having 2 little ones. So, and the youngest ones are in girls. And so I am actually the oldest of 6 kids.
Goodness.
3 boys, 2 girls, and me. So 3 girls total. So 3 and 3. And then, we moved to Bakersfield just before I turned 16. And, well, the rest is history.
Maybe we should zoom in with your parents to really find out how this all happens, right? How they make it all happen, right? Especially raising 6 kids in different places for sure. So, well, yeah, we've been, just getting into my ministry portion. I was 18, maybe a little younger than that. We went through some changes in our youth group. Our youth pastor had left, and so a bunch of us rowdy teenagers had to step up. You guys know who you are. Leading worship, speaking, just running the youth group. And I just took over the music because it was, kind of more up my alley. And I just kind of felt God calling me into music ministry. And blah, 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 long story short, went to a church camp that I went to every year of my whole childhood. And a real close pastor friend of mine grabbed me at the end of the night and said, I just feel God's telling me to let you know, which I've never had a moment like this in my life, by the way, where someone said, God's telling me this, wants me to tell you this. But he grabs me and says, well, God wants me to tell you that. I really feel like he wants me to tell you. I'm getting there, trust me. It's really exciting.
It's moving.
It's really moving. Story. I'm building up. I'm gonna add some really powerful music onto this later.
I think that's
for sure.
That's great.
Yeah. So he says that you're gonna be doing this the rest of your life, and I wasn't sure what that meant at the time. I'm like, okay, singing music, cool. I love music. I was singing in an a cappella group with my best friends at the time. A lot of great things happening. But then as I got older and got out of college and we got married, really just stepped into full-time ministry. And music ministry was my thing, just leading worship each and every week, just a very powerful thing that I love doing. But I didn't know how, even after years of that, doing that for almost 20 years, how that would just kind of transform into something greater, into like family ministry, and eventually even being a lead pastor at our former church. So,
but
that's really...
hold on, you said a cappella, and
right.
For those who don't know you, you guys should be asking, wait, hold up. Did he say a cappella?
I did.
He did.
I did. And as you can tell, I was the bass singer with the low voice.
Just got to
right. Me. That's how I did it.
It is.
Right. Just put my voice out there and wowed this lady here. So, no, we started singing. Me and my buddies Derek, Travis, and Dustin, and we were called Forgiven because at the time it was the '90s. It was the '90s. Mm-hmm. So. The number 4 in front of every, boy band was kind of the thing for him. And All For One, all these different bands were coming out. So we were Forgiven. And just kind of, we started with humble beginnings of learning songs so we could impress girls at church camp. And it didn't work for me at the time, which is fine. I guess it was going to work out later.
I mean, yeah.
But so, and then God turned it into this really huge ministry, took us to college, San Jose Christian College, at William Jessup University now. Ride, a lot of history here. We could just probably talk for hours on everything that we've done for sure. But so that's what I was doing for quite a long time. We even when we got married, we were still singing a little bit too. So to my guys, Dustin, Derek, Travis, love you guys. And if you're ever gonna watch, I don't know who's gonna watch, but anyways,
one day we'll get them to come to Texas.
Right,
just to
when
visit.
we get really huge and big.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I do think it's an interesting story because it is part of our story. And it is really how we got to know one another because of Dustin and
right.
Derek. So I went to church with them. And so we all went to church together. And that's just really how that connection even happened. And so those guys hold a huge part in our life and in our story.
Sure.
And you singing in an a cappella group is, huge. And maybe here and there we'll drop a little, extra tidbits of information, like you singing at the Grand Ole Opry or, those kind of things.
Yeah. So, anyways, getting married, right, and having kids, man, where has God taken us? Where do you feel like it's kind of been everywhere, right? Like we've lived in three different states now. So California, obviously, mm-hmm. North Carolina, which really wasn't for ministry, but just as we talk more about our story with Emma, how that led us there. And then now Texas. So here we are just outside of Austin, Texas. Outside of Austin, Texas. Here we I think I was
That
always
was really cheesy.
yeah.
It's so
Well,
not
most of my
Austin.
family came from Oklahoma, Arkansas, so I understand the twang for sure. I grew up with anybody that knew my grandpa Davis, was the great mumbler. He talk a lot like this whenever he needed to get something. Hey, how you guys doing? So it was,
I mean, that's pretty
and
cool.
now she accuses me. You're just like your grandpa. You mumble.
But you really do.
I think she's full of it. But anyway.
I think you're talking super clear tonight. But yes, you do mumble.
Right. Well, it's my radio presentation voice, where
You're
I
so
talk
lucky.
a lot
You're
more
in luck
clear
today.
and present myself in a whole different manner.
There you go. Good radio voice for you.
Right. So California, we started working in churches there, helped the church plant happen in Taft for a while there, and that was pretty interesting as we were moving in and out each and every week. Left there and worked at. I seemed to see. We were kind of like moving back and forth with church plants. That was kind of the thing for a while for us.
It was.
Yeah. So like 2 church plants. Then our third one was a full-time church plant when we were up in Sacramento, and that was an interesting experience as well. Not the best experience overall, but just we did learn a lot as a couple, and as people in ministry as well. What the positives and negatives really look like. So, gosh, we just have so much history. I feel like a 90-year-old man sitting here telling my story. Let's go back to 1981. That's really how I feel sometimes when we look back at all we've done. We got married in 2001. April 14th, 2001. I remember my anniversary.
I am so proud of you.
Praise
You
Jesus.
just earned brownie points.
Right. So I'm happy to admit that that's really easy to remember. I've used it. I shouldn't say this, but anyways. Where was I going with that? Anyways, but we've just in 21 years of marriage, almost 22 years, I guess. We've been through so much, and so much positive and so much negative as well. And I'm just I'm looking forward to sharing this over the next few weeks, few months, however long our stories last, or however long our audience lasts.
Yeah,
So,
depends on if you want to stick around and hear
Right.
more. I think there's so many of you that have walked a lot of our life with us and have experienced a lot of what we've gone through. And you've seen the Facebook side of it or the Instagram side of it, or maybe you've heard one of us speak and share parts of our story. But we think it's important to even go a little deeper. Matt mentioned Emma, and we have 3 daughters. So we have Abby, who is 18 now, which is super strange to have an adult.
Right. I'm way too
as a
young.
child.
Right? I'm way too young to have an 18-year-old.
All of a sudden, I felt super
Very
old
young here.
when she became 18. But we do have an 18-year-old, and she is incredibly compassionate for others, and just her heart is so huge to make a difference in the lives of people.
Yeah.
And so we are very fortunate with that. She's got an incredible voice, just like her daddy, and all his
Way
side
better
of the
than mine,
family.
for sure.
Lord knows it didn't come from my side of the family, and if you know, you know. But so we're so blessed with that. And our middle daughter Emma is 16, as you mentioned, but she also has cystic fibrosis, and so we have walked a crazy journey with her in and out of hospitals. We've done 28 hospital stays with her, all of them at least 2 weeks or longer. And we also want to talk about that and talk about the hard part of life when you are questioning God and what that goes, what you go through when you're angry with God, and when you're at the point where you're like, screw this, I don't want anything to do with this. And so we're going to be real, and we're going to talk about those hard moments. The constant tears that we've cried. And so we think it's important to tell you those hard things, because so many of you guys have seen us go through those hard things, or you've seen how God has worked through those hard things. But also looking back on those things and sharing those times with you guys, because we believe that God took us through those journeys, not only to teach us lessons, but also to help you in your time of need. And so we want to talk about those things. So a little bit more, like, as we dive in, as we move forward, is not just sharing like that ministry side, because Lord knows that we have a lot of that, a lot of church hurts that we've had to get through and endure and overcome, a lot of church success that we've been able to walk through and watch God move in. And all of it has led us to be right here where we are today. We are both in full-time ministry,
Yeah.
which is terrifying at times, extremely hard, and also extremely rewarding. And so it's been quite the journey, but here we are.
Yeah.
It's just time to be raw. Maybe
Absolutely.
There you go.
Raw. Yeah. That's a very descriptive word for sure.
That could be scary. Let's rewind. Erase.
No.
Erase?
No, you're right. I think as we've navigated, and it really is, that word is so perfect when I think of ministry and marriage, how it's like, it really is. It's like navigating a ship. Because she's been on a cruise. I haven't been on a cruise. I'm not that cool.
We don't talk about cruise, though.
I've taken boats to Catalina Island when I was in high school. So they were big boats, but I've also done fishing boats. I've been out on the water.
That hasn't fared well for you.
It hasn't. Yeah, we only want to go. Well, don't want to go there for sure. And chumming the water and what that looks like.
Gosh.
Right? Fishermen know that term. No, but when you talk about navigating, how waters, oceans, they're peaceful, they're wavy, they're mysterious. There's so much mystery about it. There's so much familiarity about it. But there's storms, there's all kinds of things. So I think when you talk about ministry and marriage, navigating really, to me, is a really good word for that, because you go through all kinds of different seasons. That's kind of a churchy word, out of the church handbook, right? Different seasons. It's a new season of this, right? No, but we go through seasons of hardships, of grief, of happiness, of joy, of financial issues, peace, arguments that she starts, not me. So we go through all kinds of stuff. So to me, the word navigating really hits best when we talk about marriage, when we talk about ministry, because even in ministry, you do have rough seasons as well. You have great highs and you have big lows, and you have a lot of times where it's just smooth sailing for a while, and then storms roll in of something else that just might hit you upside the head. So I think that's, as we kind of start doing this over the next couple of weeks, that's really going to be our target here is how did we navigate marriage? How did we navigate ministry? And how do we navigate both of those things together? And how do we still do that together? And
throw parenting in there.
Oh yeah, throw parenting. Even at, we're both 44 years old and
40 something.
Yeah. And we're still learning, we're still learning. And I'm sure there's probably husbands and wives and parents who are 50, 60 years old that would probably say the same thing, that we're always learning. And I hope that's our mindset as Christians, as husbands, as wives, as parents, is that we are always learning, that we're always wanting to learn in everything that we go through, and learning from our friends, learning from our family, learning from books, learning from excellent, amazing podcasts like you're watching right now. Right? So anyways, that's
do the cheesy smiles.
Yeah, that's right. And cheesy music here in a second.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I got to get one of those little push button, crowd noise things,
There you go.
that make that more exciting. But yeah, so that's going to be our journey together on this show, and hope you guys just join along with us, and hopefully you learn stuff, and we'd love to hear your feedback as well. Like, what have you gone through in ministry? What have you gone through in marriage? And if there's some way we can help you, we'd love to help you navigate things. And maybe there's some of you that might want to help us navigate things as well throughout the next couple of weeks and months too, as we move forward. So, so that's kind of our first show today, is just you getting to know us and us getting to hopefully know you guys over the next few weeks as well. But
there's a snippet of who we are.
A snippet, a tidbit, right? Snippets and tidbits.
Smidgen.
There we go. There's another title option, right? Snippets and tidbits with the Ritters.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
No.
That's weird. But anyways,
Yeah.
Anything else you want to throw in there that we've missed, or
there's so much.
Right.
There's so much, and I think as we move forward, then we can kind of hit all of those things as we go along. And I do think, if there's questions that you guys have, ask us. We want to dive deeper into those. If you're in the middle of something hard and you want to ask those questions and address those things, and you want our thoughts on those things, and maybe if we've gone through those, we'll share our story with that as well. So,
and we will humbly admit we do not know everything.
We don't. So far from the truth.
I know she likes to sometimes
Only with
no, I'm
you,
just
darling.
kidding. I don't
Only
even want to
with
go
you.
there, right? No, we don't know everything.
No.
We're, as I said earlier, we're always learning. We're learning sometimes by the hard knocks, right?
The skin of our teeth.
or just by somebody that's helped us walk through situations in our lives. And so we just want to share that with you. And we hope that encourages somebody, no matter what you're going through, whether it's ministry, marriage, parenting, a man, a woman, whatever that is. So we're just going to let the Spirit lead us over the next couple of weeks, right? Wherever we go, it's Spirit led. This is. I grew up a charismatic, and that word Spirit led means we just get up on stage and we just start singing and let the Spirit lead us, right?
Okay, as long as you don't start running around. We're good.
I won't.
All right, then we're good. We're golden. Let's go.
Running some miles here, right? But
Let's do it.
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us today. We're excited to take this journey with you together, and we mean that together. We want to help you as much as we need you to help us in life too. So I love you, right?
Hey,
I love you.
love
You
you.
love me. Good.
I think you're pretty cute.
Thanks. You're pretty hot yourself. But
Glad
we
you
love
still
you guys
think so.
too. After all these years, right? We still, fire's still there.
There you go.
The passion has not burned out. But yeah, we love you guys, and just thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, be sure to check us out over the next couple of weeks. We'll be throwing this up on Facebook and probably some other platforms as well, just to help maybe get you through your morning ride somewhere to work, or coming home somewhere from a trip, just to make you laugh, if anything, right?
Or, while you get ready and you're putting on your makeup and you're doing those things, you can listen along while your husband's snoring. I don't
really listen to too much when I'm putting on my makeup.
That's how I get ready, so it tunes it all out.
That's nice. Snoring. Let's talk about that, right? That'll be next week's show.
That'll be next week's show.
Find out next week about Lisa.
That's not nice.
I know. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us today, and I'm Matt, and this is my beautiful wife Lisa, and just we're happy to take this journey with you and come along with us and find out what God's going to do in your marriage, in your kids, in your ministry, whatever that is, and
in your life,
whatever it does for us as well too. So, all right, we good?
All right, we're good.
All right,
see you next
time. Have a
time.
wonderful week. Thank you guys.
Bye.